Yes, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is DJ Frank Whyte, and you listen to Unsigned Heat podcast. And today we have a special guest. I would say, cousin doing the thing out there with the
hmm
candles and all that. And let the people know who you are.
All right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ruben Bridges. I teach robotics to middle school students, high school students, and elementary school students. Right now, I'm currently working on my own little personal business, selling candles on Etsy at the moment. And it's been fun. And so this is one of my journeys to the next step to something I can leave behind to my children.
Okay. So, what is Essie?
Etsy is an online. It's sort of like Amazon, but except it's for people who make their own products,
Yeah.
handmade products like jewelry, furniture, candles, lighting, anything that's for people who are like really true crafters, and they wanted to sell their work uh, to people. There's also people who make digital designs as well. Also schedules people be selling as well on Etsy. So it's multiple things you can sell that's that's of your own design versus like Amazon where you source your products out from maybe Alibaba or somewhere other site where people or other companies sell their sites sell their products.
Okay, that's what's up. So, how long you been on there?
Just since for a few weeks now. That's for about this is 3 weeks. I've been on Etsy. Launched my store on October 26th. Uh, Started with two sets of two candles, 15 each, and right now I've got nine left. So out of the 30. So yeah, I'm ready to work on the next 96 candles for my store.
Okay. So, what kind of candles? They are different type of candles, different flavors, different scent.
So So the types of candles that I sell right now, they're made of soy wax, which is an all natural wax. There's other ones you can use like paraffin, beeswax, and some people still use animal fat to make their wax with, make the candles with. But mine is made from soy. Uh, and the scents that I currently use for my candles is called right now the main type that's used now is apple cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice. Those are the first two I started with, just to get an understanding of how scents and mixing with the wax and the different temperatures will affect the scent that comes off the candle. And it has been the scents that come out. You don't even have to light the candle yet for it to smell so good. So that's how I want. It's one of those high level scents where it just there's just if the room is just warm, it just comes the fragrance just comes right off. So, but I have the next six I'm working on getting is like it's more like lavender. The common ones like lavender, spearmint, mint, uh, vanilla, and there's a couple other two that's not so sure about. I have to like actually go to the store and actually smell it for myself to see how strong the scent is.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So, everything done by you, or do you have any partners?
No, it's just me right now. It's just all me. Make the candles, uh, make my little advertisement. Put every morning I put up a little advert. Not every morning, right? I'm skipping mornings, but make a little Christmas ad. Put up on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and on Twitch, not Twitch, TikTok. I go through the process of how I make the candles, and I just update everybody like how far I'm gone and give like little shout outs and update videos about what's next and what we doing. So yeah, it's all just me.
Okay, you working, man. You working. You
Say
working
again?
like me.
Oh yeah, got to put in the work. Got to put in the work. You got to go wake up every morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Uh, Exercise, eat breakfast, shower, and go on about my day. So got to put in the work.
Okay, so what is your day like? You know what I'm saying? Besides,
Ah,
making candles.
okay. So when I'm not well, so bes- when I'm not making candles, it's about advertising and promoting it, promoting my candles. So like every night I'll plan out my day. So like it's like today was uh I'm working on a website right now. So the sort of first part of my morning was basically work on the website, add any pictures that need to be added, um, make a new email address for just in case customers want to contact me. Uh, I did a little made a GoFundMe page as well. I just had to change a couple of pictures on there, and and then after that was just pretty much to get ready for the interview for most of the day.
Okay. So you got everything organized.
Yeah, I have it all set out the night before, and then when it comes to the next day, when that day comes, just execute it.
Okay. Sound like a plan. Sound like a plan.
Yep,
So
exactly.
so what's gonna be next? What's next besides
What
the whole candle?
what's
What?
next?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next to the candles, it's well, as soon as like the wax and the next set of tins and the oils. Actually, right now I'm in the middle of the research of like for which oils I want to use. So I want to make sure that is actually specifically for made for candles, and not specifically made for like diffusers if you're not using your home. If you're doing like some stuff like for aromatherapy,
Yeah.
so because there are different types of oils. So I really want to make sure that the next set of oils that I do use is specifically made for like candles and not specifically made for something else. Because if you, I don't want it to, so a person to burn a candle and the oil is not doesn't come up as strong because it was made for something else. So right now that's what I'm doing today, and I'm going to do that for tomorrow as well because I'm right now making up a list of which ones I want to use.
Yeah.
But I do have the ones that exactly the ones I do want to use. I have set up some in a cart in Amazon, which I think I might just go and order because those are specifically made for for candles. And also, like, but yeah, that's the next thing. Um, yeah, that's it for. But outside of candle making, I'm also about to get engaged into another robotics project.
Mm.
Um, Developing my team right now. They think about developing kits for senior citizens. Helping out. I'm not sure of the organization. I just found out about it today, so I would actually be helping them out with that as well. So.
Okay. What's up, man? You need to invite me down there and get some footage and film it, see what's
Okay.
going down. I mean, the ins
All
and out.
right.
People
We
want to
got it.
see that.
Okay, because right, we just started today. Just found out today. Just got an email from an old high school teacher who still works with the team. His name is Gary Israel. I still work with them with the team and everything. And today we just found out he just someone he knows that bought his mother's artwork. Who I used to work for his mother. Mother's name was Dorothy Gillespie. She was an artist, very famous artist, and she was talking about the possibility of creating sense I'm not sense sorry robotics kits for seniors to help like keep the mind active, something that's not going to be too complicated but it's easy to use, easy to program, um, for seniors.
All right. So, are y'all in that process of doing that right now, or?
Right now, we just got the email out. We're just going to see, right now, trying to see how many students will be interested in doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not sure what everybody's schedule is like due to the pandemic and schools are doing blended learning. We're not sure what because a lot of our students are still planning for college, even though the current situations happening around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're trying to figure out how to plan a planet, see which students are going to be interested in doing so, and then we're going to move on from there.
Okay. What's up, man? Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure everything's on point. But yeah, I
Okay.
I hear you working and shit. So you also do what else you do? Do you build a website?
I used to make websites from scratch. I used to. So right now I'm just using a template that is on Pattern, which is a partnership with Etsy. Right now, just using one of theirs. But I do know how to make a website from scratch, the coding, the HTML. Yeah, no, I do know how to do that. I haven't done it about what? I haven't done it in quite a while though, but like maybe like 4 years. But I still do know. I still know the basis of making a website from scratch.
Okay, I think I might need you for that, man. I need.
I mean, like I said, I haven't done it in a while, so I gotta get caught up with all the HTML. Let's see, I think we passed five. I think price. I'm not sure what HTML number we're up to right now, so I gotta get caught up quickly. So
So how much do you charge for a sale like a simple one page website?
I've never charged anyone
Oh
actually.
shit.
The only time I've really like made a website was when I was working for the Children's Hospital at Montefiore.
Uh huh.
And we were just making we had our own it was an internship, and we just was making projects for the patients.
Hmm.
And what I would do is I would make web pages that would go onto what we call it at the time an Explorer network, and I would used to put a patient's artwork or their poetry, and we used to upload it to the network. Um, and but I never actually made one for like an actual client. It's like for business because now like you could pretty much go to like certain sites like Squarespace or GoDaddy because they all have like templates that you can use.
Yeah.
But you can still customize it to what you like. So even though there's other people who actually still make websites from ground up. Um, they're probably way much better than I am right now because I'm really rusty on making websites. So I have to get back into it.
Yeah. I'm about to get into. I need a website done. So
Mhm.
I'm just trying to get into that
Are you
right
familiar
now.
with
Huh?
Yeah? Are you familiar with there's I think there's a site called Fiverr. It's like people who do freelance work. You can actually hire them to make new websites or apps or advertisements for your business.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
'Cause- yeah, I mean, if you want to check that out too, they can see if someone has like a reasonable uh pricing you could probably just for you to make your websites with. Because me right now, if I make a website for you, you'd be like, "What is this from 1998?" It's like
Oh,
that's be so bad right now because
oh,
I
you
gotta get back
outdated like
into
that,
it.
man?
Oh, no, I'm not outdated like that. It's just that I have not been really been putting in the work to like making my own websites or anything like that. I
Yeah.
used to, but I haven't. I'm really rusty, so I gotta get back into the practice of actually doing that because I might have to do it anyway. So yeah.
Okay.
I need a lot of work.
Cause
Yeah.
cause I got I write books and all that, so I'm trying to get
Yes, I've seen it too. Yeah.
yeah
I got
I got 9 books out.
nine. Wow, that is excellent.
I got 9 books out right now. I'm working on a new book for the podcast
Hmm.
why you should start a podcast. So I'm writing that book right now.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
So
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of things people could do right now. Like they can actually start their own podcast, YouTube channels with this things of their interest, so that don't always have to like something that could be as a side hustle, which can later on turn into a main hustle for them for later. So.
Yeah. So I'm just, working on that. Um, got the podcast, writing book, photography, promotion,
Hmm.
doing that. So
Hmm.
other than
Yeah.
that, I'm just putting in the work. You need a
Exactly.
foundation where people actually really eh, go to and see my work.
Hmm.
So other than that, everything pretty good.
That's excellent. That is
So
excellent.
I'm trying to see what is the whole process as far as like putting together like the candles and all that. Like what is the
Hmm.
first thing you do? Just in case people want to do what you do.
Sorry, hold on. You're cutting out the last part there. Hold on, couldn't hear you.
I said, what is the steps that you need to do to make a candle,
Oh, the steps you need to do to make the candles. Okay.
just in case other people want to do what you do.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to first off the first thing you want to do before you even make any candle is you want to make sure you do your research first. That's the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you do the research, understand what the process is, what it is to make a candle. So read different websites, watch videos, that's what I did. Like I read on the different types of wax, the different types of fragrances, the different types of containers, and I watched other people how they did theirs. Uh, and it's not really complicated. You just want to make sure you understand that when you're mixing your wax with your with your fragrances and the containers and everything, how the wax is gonna behave. So once you've done all your research and everything, then you wanted to figure out which type of wax you want to use. Okay, for example, if you're a person who wants to keep everything all natural, you want to look at all the types of wax that's basically natural. If you don't particularly care about it having a fully all natural wax, and then there's other things you can use for your wax. So I wanted to, like for myself, I want to keep the things all natural because I know most of the people I know are very healthy, keeping healthy living, and they have kids, and you don't want something that burns and it's going to cause like some type of allergies or anything like that. So I want to look at something that's not going to cause any allergies to anyone. Even if that goes down to your fragrances, you want to make sure that it's not going to cause any allergies with your customers. So once you chose your wax, then you go into which fragrances you want to use. All right. So if you want to actually start making a candle, this is what you have to do first. You want to make sure you have your heat on medium high. Okay, medium to high heat, and then um, if you want to, depending on the size of the candles you want to use, like right now, the last few candles I was using 7-ounce jars for my candles. So you want to make sure you have enough wax for whatever amount of size jars you want to use. So I was using 7-ounce jars. I was making 30 of them, so I needed 12 pounds of wax
Damn.
for those jars, and
Ooh.
then so you need then you melt. So I was using a 1-ounce melting pot. Some people use double boiling method. Of what it means, you put water inside of a pot and you take your melting pot with the wax and you put that inside the water to melt the wax off with. But I don't use that method. I just use mine as my melting pot. I have a hot plate, the regular the hot plate you can use, and just put it on there and that's melt my wax. So you're gonna wait till your wax get up to at least 185 degrees. When it gets to 185 degrees, you want to add your fragrance inside because that's what the best between 180 and 185 degrees is where you want to have your fragrance added because that's the best bonding temperature for it. It gives off the best makes it scent have the best scent when it starts to cool down. So you want your wax to cool down to 120 degrees before you add it into. Some people are saying I go with 120 because it's much cooler that way. But some people let it go down to 135. But the cooler the wax is, um, the better actually to pour it in because it's you start to see it like when it starts to get almost like a milky white color. You just pour it into your containers. Now, after you let it cool down. Um, Sorry, I missed a whole step. I missed one whole step. Before you put your wax into the containers, make sure you put your wicks inside the jars. Okay, make sure they're in the center of the jar. And then once your wax is cooled down, add your wax, and then let the wax cool down inside the jar with the wicks. And after the wax is completely cooled down, you want to check to make sure there's no dents inside the wax or holes or any type of bubbles. If that does happen, if you have any holes inside your wax, what you want to do is you want to take that same wax a little bit of wax that's left over and fill in those holes. Some of the methods people use is they use heat guns to smoothen out the surface on top and let the wax cool back down to have a smooth finish. Um, you can do both ways. Actually, put a little bit of the leftover wax that's inside your melting pot, pour it inside. And if there's still a little bit of imperfections after you have done that step, you still can use it like a heat gun or a blow dryer will have very high heat to melt down the wax to give it a smooth top. Then once that has once it's going to cool down and it's gone to that desired look that you want, you trim your candle wick down to a quarter of an inch, no higher than that, because any higher than that, you have a huge flame coming off your wax, and you don't want that to happen. And you also make sure when you make sure that the center, make sure that wick is always centered because you don't want the wick too close to the edge of your containers because the container will heat up if it's glass or your tin, whatever container you use for your wax or bowl, whatever it is going to heat up and it might cause maybe cracks inside your jars. So you don't definitely want to make sure everything is centered. And also, when everything's completely set and done, you want to have a warning label on the bottom of your wax before you even sell your candles because you want to make sure your customers are informed of the dangers of handling candles. For example, you don't want once you uh, smother your candle out, you don't want to blow it out. You just really want to smother your candle out because if you blow it, you might actually blow the flame. You might actually get caught into something. You don't want to do that. So you want to pretty much just smother it out. I mean, if the flame is low enough inside the jar, yeah, you can blow it out. But if it's really high up and you don't want to, and it's, you definitely don't want to just blow out the flame, and it happens somehow. Just happen to catch something on fire. Also, you want to make sure your candle's away from anything that's flammable when you are lighting it. When you put your candle out, make sure you don't touch the jar or jar or tin can that you use because it'll still hold the residual heat and you burn yourself. So this is like you want to make sure that you explain those things to your customers in your store, your website, on the bottom of your candle. Even if in your videos, which I got to do because I was actually going to make a longer video about that as well, and handling candles and in safety. So you want to make sure that they are really well aware of the dangers. At the same time, you're providing a excellent quality product to your customers.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Well, how your candles are? What size of your candle are they little candles or the tall candles or
Yeah,
the
they're
flat
they're they're
candles?
small. They're small 7 ounce candles. They have like a burn time for about 50 hours. But you never want your candles to burn no like if you want to light your candle, you never want to let it burn longer than 3 hours. That's also a part of the safety and part of it as well. So it has, but overall it should have more. It's like around 50, 55 hours of a burn time, of repeated burn time. So there's 7 ounce jars. The next one's gonna be 4 ounce, so they're gonna be a little bit smaller. Uh, but it's gonna be a lot cheaper than the ones I have now as well. So
Okay, so what is the prices of all your candles?
the current ones right now they're $14 each. If you order you see my website shop, they're $14 each, and I provide free shipping, so that you don't have to pay a crazy amount of shipping. That's good. The going like so. For example, I have a person who follows me on TikTok order a candle. She lives all in Arizona, so so being that it's free shipping, she doesn't have to pay like $10 or $15 for it to be shipped that far. So offer free shipping, and for me the postage is like only like $6 to ship it off. But it gets a little higher once you start shipping out of country,
Yeah.
to overseas. So right now all my customers has been local and a couple of states over. So
Okay. So for all like the the scent and all that, like
yeah,
what can you get scent at? Will you what can you buy? What
where
type of scent? Like with vanilla, the lavender. What can you
so
get it at?
for so I've been using Amazon. That's what I've been mostly getting my scents from on Amazon. If you have a store that sells scents, like here in Manhattan, there's a couple that's nearby that
Mm.
sell scents, but most of them are not all for candles. So if you go to like an all natural shop that like that, or Bath and Body Works or something like that, they do have scents there, but you got to make sure that it's actually made for candles. But I've mostly been getting mine off for Amazon for right now.
Okay. So I gotta find out what is the name of your company and all that.
The name of my company is called Sun Candles Co. I was trying to go with just Sun, but someone already had the name. So Sun as an SUN, like the sun in the sky. So I wanted to keep a name that was really simple that everybody can to remember. So
Yeah.
I was using the same model like how Steve Jobs got the name for Apple. It's like the name that's something simple, something that is that's not hard to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so I was like, okay, let's just go with Sun because it's something easy to remember, straightforward. But someone already had it, so they're like, okay, let's go Sun Candles Co. And so I just stick with that one because some of the other names they were suggesting were is just not that didn't sound too good for me, so I just went with Sun Candles Co.
Oh, okay. So you got a whole so you put together a whole company, what is it, LLC or corporation?
So, well, the co part it was just one of the names that was suggested. So I actually I liked it because it sounds like it sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for me to actually register that as a business, I would have to go through the IRS and and get an EIN number or anything to make it sort of like a corporation. But if I do that, go through that route, I'll probably most likely change the name. I'll let everybody know. I'll change it if it's not available. If it's not available, I'll change it. But then but I might wind up keeping it. I did have a couple other names in mind, but they need to be worked out. They didn't sound too catchy or too like simple to remember. So if you do come out with, if you want to make your own shop, just think of a name that just like you may like and something that's gonna be easy for everybody to remember. So so for me it was the Sun. The reason why I chose the Sun, um, because in numerology, I don't know if everybody really follows that or not, but in numerology, I'm considered a life path one,
Mm.
and the one the ruling planet for a one is the Sun. So and I always loved the Sun when I was since being little and everything. I loved being out in the sun. So I decided to just use that. So it worked. So it made sense. So that's why it worked. That's why I chose the Sun.
Okay. So you put a lot of thought into everything you do.
Yeah, yeah, to have something to have meaning to it. Like if it, just because if you give a name to something, everybody can give a name to something,
Okay.
but it has to have a sort of like meaning for when I named it, when to name the shop, it does not just have just a name, but just have a serious meaning, a meaning behind it. So just
Okay.
like anything I want to name something, I look at like something that does inspires me, and I just put a name to it.
Okay. I gotta I gotta get some of your candles because I like candles as well.
All right,
I got a few
all
in the
right.
house right now. So with
Hmm.
some scent on it, either
Yeah.
lemon or vanilla, something like that.
Yeah,
But
actually, I'm thinking about getting the sort of there's lemon was one of them, but it was not the scent that was there. I actually I had it in my cart to buy. It had lemon, but it was not meant for candles. It was pretty much lemon. It was lemon for meant for massaging oil. So I'm still I'm looking for another one of those that's within a reasonable range of price. So because some people are charging crazy for them. So, but that is actually going to be one of my fragrances I'm going to use.
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So before we get up out of what do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
5 years. Okay, so the 5 year plan is this: at least to try to. I have a couple of things I have done within the next 5 years. Um, one, I really like to open up a school. Is one of them because and like in Philadelphia because I've went to go back to visit my uncle and I've seen that he drove me around and I've seen there was a lot of empty lots in the area and I was like it could be a good school there, could be a good school over there. That's one of them. The other plan I have for within 5 years is also to also make sure my candle business is a success, and possibly try to at least either have my own store or partnership with uh, an existing store to sell my candles in. And hopefully, also within that 5 years, uh, see, is it more of another person that's sort of maybe get married again and have kids. That's within my 5 year plan.
Okay.
But business wise at the moment, it's mostly to make sure candles wise can't have my candles uh out there and being something I can something I be proud of, and that can when it's time to have children I can pass it on to them, and open up a school or something, that because that's what I that's that was actually was my previous 5 year plan, but uh that was like 4 years ago that I came with that one, but things got derailed due to like passing my wife and things like that. It was hard
Sorry to
to
hear that.
concentrate. Yeah, um so I but it's still a goal of mine to at least open up a school. So
Okay. So, any advice you want to give anybody before we get up out of here too, as well?
yeah, my advice to anybody is to, to at least try something that you haven't tried before. Um, I know right now is tough for a lot of people to see any possibility of like growing themselves. Just I would just say this: keep focus. Turn one of your old hobbies into something a business for yourself. Uh, Continue to grow by educating yourself. Work on something. Like for me, I gotta continue working on my writing because I really haven't been that great at it. But work on something for yourself. Just continue to grow during this time. Don't look at it as a bad time. And you know, yes, people are dying every day, but people are dying every day for multiple reasons. But I would just say, just keep bettering yourself and just keep that focus. And like for me, I follow what The Rock says. It takes your two hands. That start with your two hands and then start putting in the work. Uh, do a lot more reading. Just keep expanding yourself. That's my advice for everybody right now, during this time and even after this time. Um, yeah, that's what I have to say.
Okay. What's up? What's up, man? I know you gonna I know you're gonna do big things. Cause I could, you
Hmm.
know what I mean. I could see it. You
Yeah,
know, I could see it. So you're gonna do big
yeah,
things. So everything I did, on my own. I had no team. So I don't think
yeah,
people don't, really. The thing about it is that people don't, they're not gonna believe in you.
yeah.
You gotta believe in yourself first.
E-
And
Exactly. That's where a lot of people find their drive from, is when you hear or people are denying the fact that you ever accomplish anything. So what you got to do is you got to take that and use that as your fuel and show them that you can actually like really put in the work to do that. Set up a plan, do your research on it, do everything you possibly can to make sure that you can say, "I did it." And even if you got somebody in your life just always have someone also in your life that will help you and support your dream too. But it's going to be a lot of people going to say you can't do it, and you're going to say this. If you have any doubt in yourself, that's gonna be very hard for you to go for it yourself too. So you just gotta make sure you gotta kill all doubt in yourself and just keep going forward with it. Because there's sometimes in mornings that I do have like a slight bit of doubt, but I know how to push that away. It's almost like a bit of heat that comes off of you. So, but you gotta learn how to like just cut away from all of that and just focus on it. Say, all right, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna focus on it. It's gonna get done today, no matter what. Every night, maybe plan a schedule, something you're gonna do for that next day, because that's what a lot of successful people do. Every night, the night before they go to bed, they make plans the day before, or the week, or for a whole week. So make sure you start with something small. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to do these few things, but let's keep making that list grow and grow. For me, I like to jump in head first and just go make a big ambitious plan for the whole day, and try to get as much as done as I can. So, but you don't have to be super crazy like me and just go and make it like a whole crazy compact schedule for every single hour. But start with a few hours every single day, or make a board where you can actually list your tasks that you want to take out and do.
Yeah.
One thing I used to help my coworkers when I was working in insurance hospital, her name was Nicole. She was like having trouble like organizing her day, having trouble like because she was taking on a lot of tasks. I always used to tell
Mm.
her take post-it notes of different colors, and the darker the colors, the tougher the task, the lighter the color, the brighter the task, and just work your way through it. Either the harder, I should tell you to start with the easiest first and work your way to the most tough, to the toughest, and it worked out for her for a very long time. So whatever you do is just make sure if you just got to make sure you got to make it work for yourself first and keep that mental discipline. Not to say that you can have no fun, but just make sure you when you wake up in the morning, that task that you set for yourself